Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the day 4 of our AI ML for Internet of Things certified online workshop. We hope you all have been enjoying the incredible learning journey so far. As we enter the fourth day, we want to take a moment to appreciate each and one of you for your dedication, commitment to this workshop, your enthusiasm, and your active participation has truly enriched our sessions. Over the past few days, we've covered a lot of ground from the basics of AI ML to real world applications of IoT. And today, we are delighted to continue this journey of exploration and discovering with an exciting lineup of session. Before we deep dive into today's agenda, we again want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers. Their expertise and passion for these technologies have been the guiding light of the workshop. Today, we dive deeper into the cutting edge applications, advanced concepts, and practical insights that will further empower your AI and IoT journey. So, without any further ado, let's begin with the session. With this note, it gives me immense pleasure to introduce the first speaker for today, Mr. Himanshu Paliwal, who is currently working as pre sales head IT, infra, and cloud for India and SAARC countries at Tech Mahindra. Sir has completed his BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from Shivaji University and his MBA in Marketing and Information Systems. Sir is technically sophisticated and business savvy management professional with pioneering career of 24 years, reflecting strong leadership qualities in pre-sales and techno-commercial activity, business development, and key account management. Sir has proven his ability to lead a team by example and motivate them to achieve desired objectives. Sir, on behalf of IIT Pune chapter, Buds Engineering Academy, and Civic Incubation Center, it gives me immense pleasure to call you upon the virtual dais and take over the session.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this introduction, and it's a pleasure to be with academicians again because having been so long in the industry and been completely cut off from academia is not a good thing for me. So I take always a pleasure to sort of be with the academicians, students, and professors whenever I get this opportunity. And thanks to Birds Academy, and a special thanks to Arjun for giving me this opportunity to be with the academicians and students. And the commonality, Arjun, is that I'm also from Delhi, and I guess I'm addressing people who are mostly in Delhi. So, uh, good evening to all the Delhiites here. And I guess some are also joining from outside, Arjun, if I'm not wrong. People are also joining outside Delhi, I guess.
Yes,
Yeah, that's great. And I've been told that people will also join on YouTube, which is streaming live. So thanks for giving me this opportunity, Arjun. And let me share my screen, and sort of we'll start.
yeah, okay.
With the entire screen. Is this visible?
Yeah,
Arjun?
yeah, visible.
Okay. This is presentation mode. Okay, I have lost the view of the conference. I can only see my laptop. Uh, are you able to see and hear me?
Yes, I am able to see. Yeah.
Okay, so that's great. Um, okay, so this is the agenda for today, and I promise all of you, whosoever is in the call and on YouTube, that this will not be a death by PowerPoint. We will keep it very light, light in terms of technology. We will not go deep dive into technology. But what we will do is try and understand a perspective on AI, and I'm deliberately not including IoT because IoT is a different technology. There is less of an involvement of AI in IoT. But yes, IoT is also an important aspect, and AI is slowly creeping into IoT also, the Internet of Things. But IoT is mainly sort of related to the sensors. It is part of electronics rather than an AI AI software or algorithm. So the agenda is that we will check out where did we begin with AI and what are different types of AI nowadays which are prevalent. So AI has been categorized mainly into three towers. We will check out those three towers. Uh, and the rest two headings, or rather three headings down below this, are very controversial. Controversial in the sense that there is a lot of debate going on whether we should welcome or ban AI. What about the jobless situation which AI may create? And what about the misuse of AI, which is which has already started happening? A lot of incidences are around where AI has been misused. Similarly, there are a lot of strong opinions on deepfake technology. We will also check what deepfake technology is and why there are very strong opinions about it. And then to end this session, we will have some lighter moments with some videos and use cases on AI. And this is all about what I have for this evening today. So let's begin from the beginning, and this is what the beginning is. Uh, John McCarthy was a person ahead of his times. He was discussing some kind of an intelligence, which he later named as artificial intelligence in early 60s. But in 50s, he was of the opinion that these large machines at that times, computers were of the size of a large hall, and they were all being operated by diodes. Uh, he was of the opinion that these large machines, which could compute a bit, can be made intelligent. And then he wrote a book also with these three gentlemen whose names are reflecting here, Turning, Minsky, and Newell, in early 60s, uh, by the name of artificial intelligence. So he's called the father of artificial intelligence because when nobody thought that these computers those days, which were as large as a big hall, a room, or a truck, uh, could be made intelligent. And but what had happened was his endeavors never bear fruit to an extent because in those days computing power was very limited. We had no supercomputers at that time, and then there was not computer on every desk, which Bill Gates made it a reality in mid 90s. He wanted a desktop on every desk, and then he provided a desktop on every desk. And then sort of artificial intelligence really took off. A lot of research went into artificial intelligence in last 20 years, and it was because of the increase in, or rather I'll say it was a geometric progression for compute, internet and the storage power. And that's why we were able to do what we have done in artificial intelligence today. And by the way, Montreal, which is a city in Canada, became a virtual hub for the research and training algorithms, which formed the base of the modern artificial intelligence. Chat GPT, which has taken everybody by storm, especially internet by storm. A lot of contribution comes from the city Montreal into creating this magnificent piece of software called Chat GPT. Having said this, we began this, and where we are now, we are now at this stage where okay, so these were the gentlemen, who started off a company called OpenAI in 2015-16, which has created ChatGPT. And especially Greg Brockman, who's a co-founder and the CTO, played a very important role in bringing Alan Musk to this company in the form of an investor. So Alan Musk is actually the biggest investor in OpenAI. who created ChatGPT. So yeah, let's jump to now what is actually the difference between, because some of the questions which I keep facing from my customers in industry and newcomers in the industry who are just joining Tech Mahindra from various colleges is they are well versed of Siri and Alexa. We all know what Siri and what Alexa is. They are basically voice assistants. And then what is the difference between these two entities and generative AI called ChatGPT? So broadly, this slide is a very superficial slide on the difference, but then I'll go to the next slide and explain you the difference between uh, conversational AI, robotics AI, and generative AI, which is ChatGPT. Broadly, Siri and Alexa are conversational AIs, which means that they only search the internet just like Google, and they just read out whatever Google would find in terms of text, and they will just speak out or they will just voice it out. So they are only conversational AI. Robotics AI is basically an AI which is actually uh, falls somewhere between generative AI and these conversational AI. Robotics AI is a very deep subject, and in fact, it was the first kind of an AI which started off actually. Alexa and generative AI are very recent phenomena, by the way. But robotics AI was prevalent in 70s also. So having said this, just keep in mind that Siri, Alexa are only giving you an input that is available on Google or that is available on internet, and any search engine like Google or Bing from Microsoft will produce the same output that Siri and Alexa will give you in terms of voice. The only difference between Google, Bing, Siri, and Alexa is that Siri and Alexa you could converse with. I mean, you could do voice commands, but you understand nowadays even Google has a small microphone there, and even you can give voice commands to Google, and Google will give the such rather would service you with all the data whatever Google has found on the internet. And generative AI, why it is called as generative AI? Because it not only searches the internet for the relevant data, but it generates a meaningful output from that data, which a very intelligent human being will do. So if you're conversing with Chat GPT, you know, you will feel like you are conversing with a very smart, intelligent, very evolved human being who is able to provide you answers which you are looking for, and not only the data which is available on the internet. So indirectly, what this AI does, it generates an output, a meaningful output which human beings can use directly, either in the form of a text or in the form of a conversation. I think the next slide is a deep dive, or rather, I have tried to simplify the technology between conversational AI, generative AI, and robotics, which is called as humanoid also. I think we will stop here with the technology and then sort of go to the actual use cases. But let me try and simplify this and make you understand the difference between conversational AI, generative AI, and robotics AI. So as I said, the examples of conversational AIs are Siri, Alexa, and certain voice responses which you may have seen in some luxury cars. Now cars are also talking to you. They take some commands from you. These are all examples of conversational AIs. So here what is done is, again, as I have said, is, the internet is search around, you know, the data which is available on the internet is either given back to you in the form of a text or it is given back in the form of a voice. And generative AI, as I have told you, is actually it it is very advanced than what Google, Alexa, and Siri are, in the sense that it is trained on trillions of bytes of unstructured data available on internet. And then what follows is there is a structured algorithm being written in Chat GPT or conversational AI examples like Bard and 365, which are about to come, by the way. You will soon find a competition to Chat GPT. Google is coming out with Bard, and Microsoft has already come out with MS365 Copilot. So these are types of generative AI being launched by Google and Microsoft. So what this generative AI will do, having searched the ocean of data on internet, which is unstructured data, it will then follow a very structured algorithm to make some sense out of this unsensible data which is floating around on the internet. And it would collate it and it would structure that data in such a way that it makes a meaningful, uh, rather, it gives a meaningful output as a human being will give. And for example, if you search for what was the reason for Mrs. Indira Gandhi's assassination, try doing it and you will get some five pages of meaningful data with all the history as to why she was assassinated. And try searching for when President Ronald Reagan was attacked in late 80s, why it was done. You will have 4 or 5 pages of some meaningful data, and you will know the entire history, which probably Google may not give you the way you want. And so, having said this, generative AI creates data from the meaningless ocean of data floating around on the internet, whereas a Google, Bing, Siri, Alexa will only collect that data and will service that data to you. So this is the big difference, and this is the reason why ChatGPT has taken internet by storm, and why Google and Microsoft are worried about. Now coming to robotics AI. AI is basically a very limited AI. It would do only a limited function, and the entire intelligence is built around with that structure, which has a lot of sensors around. When you see a humanoid robot, for example, I've already given examples here. There is a humanoid robot called Sophia, which is gaining a lot of popularity, and we will come to the reasons why she is getting so much of the popularity. And earlier, if you could have seen a humanoid robot called Asimo. Asimo was an outcome of a lot of research which started in 70s and ultimately in late 90s or early 2000. This robot was created which does a lot of things which a human would do. And I'm being told that Honda company, which was behind creation of this robot, is also using this robot called Asimo in their manufacturing of cars. So what so where the artificial intelligence fit into? The artificial intelligence will fit into the various body parts of these robots. For example, they can see and react. When they are seeing it, their eyes are fitted with cameras. So the cameras are an input to them. And with that input, they will make some sense out of whatever they are seeing. They can also hear through their ears, which are basically microphones. So they'll hear it out, and then the output comes out of their mouth, which is basically a speaker. And by the way, now there are very advanced robots available whose skins are also fitted with a lot of sensors. So they have a sensory touch feeling. They have a feeling of hot and cold. And robots have gone beyond it now. They are no more limited to the physical body of a robot, but now they are also getting connected to internet and they get commands from internet also. And there is what IoT comes into play. So I was talking about the robo called Sophia. Sophia is the first robo to whom Saudi Arabia has given citizenship. Now, having known Saudi Arabia as a country, they seldom give a citizenship to a human being, but they have given a citizenship to a robot. And Sophia is a bona fide citizen of Saudi Arabia. And I'll show you some videos. I mean, looks like human, talks like human, and she is capable of conversing with human beings, also doing some kind of household activities. So, having said that, let us come to the next topic, and which is very controversial topic, as I was saying. Should we welcome AI and ML? ML is machine learning or not? My opinion is it is yes and no both. And I have developed this opinion from the various statements that people have given, and these people are not ordinary people. They are actually creators of AI and having created an artificial intelligence in various forms. This is what these guys have to say, and certain names would be very familiar to you. But let me read out, what Elon Musk said as latest as 24th May 2023. And let me read it out to you what his statement is. And why I feel astonished and surprised by his statement that it's very honest and very true. At the same time, Elon Musk, being such a genius businessman and a scientist and an inventor, has an opinion so crude on artificial intelligence, in which he himself is a big investor. So by giving this statement, in fact, he has sabotaged his own business interest. But nonetheless, I appreciate the honesty in which he has given this statement, and it says that it is not impossible for AI to control humanity, that the technology could advance so rapidly that it would create existential risk for humanity. AI doesn't have to be evil to destroy humanity, but if AI has a goal and humanity just happens to come in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. So straight, so honest, and so brutal. Another statement comes from Andrew. Andrew is a co-founder of Google Brain. Guy who is synonymous with artificial, and he also has a word of caution for guys who are developing this weapon of mass destruction, as he has called sometimes back. We have seen AI providing conversations and comfort to the lonely. We have also seen AI engaging in racial discrimination, which yes, most of the AI software have done. Yet the biggest harm that AI is likely to do to individuals in short term is job displacement. And this is what people in IT industries are worried about. Most of the software engineers are worried about, especially in last 6, 7 months. The tension has risen as Chat GPT can also write codes, and they can write a complete software if a command is given to them locally. And this is what Andrew said some 10 years back. And again, synonymous thing. I think if you could remember, I don't know how many of you are familiar with a name called James Cameron, Mr. James Cameron. James Cameron is the guy or a director or a producer behind films like Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Titanic, and Avatar. When he was creating his first film, which was Terminator Part 1, he gave the same statement what Elon Musk had given in May 2023. Exactly the same thing. And his statement was, and I remember because I was a young student at that time, and I had seen Terminator 2, The Judgment Day. I read somewhere that he has said that I have made this film just to show that if artificial intelligence comes into the field of defense, what would happen to humanity? That artificial intelligence, if some government, decides to implement in the area of defense, it can destroy humanity. And the last statement you have to ponder upon is from Stephen Hawking, the famous physicist who was crippled actually. He was on wheelchair. You have seen him. He recently passed away. He also told the same thing. And the word goes like that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end for the human race. It would take off as its own and redesign itself at an ever increasing rate. Humans who are limited by slow biological evolutions and are emotional will not be able to compete and would be superseded by the artificial intelligence. You know? So friends, this is not what what I have to say about it. These are words of the people who are developed AI and they have given a word of caution to us. Let industry take a cognizance of this and let the further development in this field be guided by keeping in mind the interest of humanity rather than business. So, okay, so let's take, I mean, by the way, you know, if you have an opinion or if you have a question for me, feel free to interrupt. Arjun, I believe I am still audible and visible. Arjun, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thanks God. Otherwise, I was thinking I have become a robot and I've started speaking as scripted. So thanks for it. Okay, so let's go to some interesting part now. So I have tried actually answering some of the questions which have been floating around. You know what artificial intelligence will do. Uh, the most important fear that we guys have in IT industry is that it will take our jobs, and it's not going to take the blue collar jobs now. It is going to take white collar jobs. So only those jobs are safe. I mean, in the first place, if your job does not involve any natural intelligence, you are safe. Any job which involves natural intelligence, artificial intelligence has the capability to take it over. And why why this fascination on Chat GPT? Because nobody has understood the real power of Chat GPT. And as the saying goes, more than the creators, the users of technologies are more fascinated. Because you definitely need some genius people to invent and create a technology, but not for using it. Even idiots can use technology very well. And then we will come to and the fact that why some people, and especially some software developers in IT industries, are worried about is the capability of generative AI like ChatGPT to learn from internet. As more and more data floats around on the internet, the generative AI software becomes more powerful as it keeps all the data, it takes all the data from the internet, unstructured it may be, but then it goes through a very structured algorithmic process to create a meaning out of it. And that's why ChatGPT is also able to write software codes. And what I'm being told, I have not tested myself, is that generative AI, like the next generative AI like Bard and Copilot, may even respond to RFPs. Now, responding to RFPs is a very tedious job. It requires a lot of intelligence. But then I just say that if any job which requires intelligence is a candidate for replacement by artificial intelligence. So yes, we should be worried about, and we should be more worried about a technology called deep fake technology. Now, what this technology is, And the fact that, I mean, there's an interesting anecdote. In the last few years, I have seen that certain negative words have become very fashionable. You heard of a word called disruption, which was floating around the corporate sector since last 7, 8 years. It's not a very positive word, right? So we will go and disrupt it. We will cause a widespread disruption. Similarly, a deep fake technology, first of all, the fake word itself is quite negative. And when you say deep fake, it is so deeply fake that you will not be able to make out a difference whether it is fake or it's true, or fake and genuine. And the examples are in the next slide. Are you able to see this photograph of a lady? The first photograph.
Yes, yes, we are able to see.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
photograph of a model who has never taken birth on this planet. This model, which is which is shown as a bride, the bridal model, never exists. This photograph has been created from the various photographs which are available on the internet. Somebody's eyes has been taken, somebody's nose, somebody's lips, somebody's cheeks have been taken. And this beautiful photograph has been created. It's completely fake. This lady never exists. Resemblance to any other lady is merely coincidence. And believe me, this is, you know, भानामती का कुनबा, as we say. कहीं की ईंट कहीं का रोड़ा, भानामती ने कुनबा जोड़ा वाला हिसाब है. And and I think you must have seen this. This photograph has gone very viral on internet, and there are a lot of comments about it as to how many jobs this technology is going to take away. Now, you see, we if you want to have this photograph being taken, then you need a studio, you need a model, for which you have to pay very high fees. Then you need a very professional photographs, you need lights, you need this bridal clothing, which is taken on rent. You know. All these job avenues have vanished. And these pictures have been created not by professionals, but by an amateur guys who are in the age group of 20 and 23. Rather, one guy could have created it. And when we talk of job losses, this is what we are talking of. And this is what we have to face and accept, rather being in denial. Moving forward, if some jewelry shop has to create or rather want to advertise, it can go to a sophisticated graphic artist who can create such beautiful fake pictures. And you don't need a model, you don't need a studio, you don't need, high class lightings, high class cameras, nothing. Okay. So this is what is deep fake. The second of my chairman, Mr. Anand Mahindra. Now here, Mr. Anand Mahindra is shown as playing Holi in Vrindavan city. And so real. I mean, if you see the background, you can see the lens effect, the camera lens effect, where Mr. Mahindra is shown very prominent in focused area, and the background is bit dull. Now this is again a fake photograph. You know, various photographs of Mr. Anand Mahindra available on the internet have been used to create this photograph where he's shown in a very jolly mood. And it is so real that you will think it is taken by a camera because camera effects are also being given here. And the fact remains that he was never in Vrindavan and he never played Holi. And in fact, my chairman very, very lightheartedly tweeted also that I'm fascinated by this technology, but at the same time, it is very scary. Thank God they showed me only playing Holi. So that was his statement, and that is what his tweet was. Uh, some more examples for you. If that was not enough, see this. All these business leaders are shown as playing holy in Vrindavan. And see the genuinity of the camera work. In some photographs, especially the Alan Musk photograph, if you see, again there is a camera effect where he is shown in focus and the background is dull or blurred. Mr. Mukesh Ambani photograph is different. It is actually a real world, background of Vrindavan. It is a very famous temple there, and he has been shown there. And same is with Bill Gates. Now, people have not stopped, and this is actually being thrown on internet by saying that this is what deepfake technology can do. And moreover, if you see the next photograph, you will again see what this technology can do even beyond what has been done in this photograph. Here, Mr. Gautam Adani and Mr. Ratan Tata have been shown. Now, see the stark difference here. Mr. Adani has never sported such mustaches, but he has shown sporting a different kind of a mustaches which are very long. Again, very happy. All these camera effects are here. And when you see Mr. Ratan Tata, Mr. Ratan Tata is shown as very young. If you see him now, because of his spinal problems, he is bent over. I mean, he's completely bent over. His looks very old, cannot walk. But he is shown in reality dancing in Vrindavan. And this is all what deepfake technology is all about. You can create things, and not only you can create things in photographs, you can even create things in videos, which I think we will see if time permits. All these examples of deepfake technology are available on YouTube, be it photographs or videos. So let us see if I can show you some videos which a film Sholay has been remade by taking Hollywood film stars into it. And it is again an example of deepfake technology where our Indian actors have been replaced by Hollywood actors, and a voiceover has been done in English, and Sholay has been remade. So now see the easiness or ease in which films could be remade. So we have heard that there is a remake of South film or some remake of Bollywood films. And that film was shot. When we say a remake, it was actually a film shooting been done. That film was completely been shot in a different language. But here, you could just pick the original film, replace the actors with the actors of your choice, replace the dialogues with the language of your choice, and here you make a movie. Again, a loss of jobs in the entertainment world. And let me come to one more video. I can just go to YouTube again and then come back. I'll show you how things are moving on in terms of robotics also.
And she has artificial intelligence software that we
At least
developed
you will
at Hampton
notice
Robotics,
that
which
she is
can
looking
process
like a
visual
robot.
data. She can
Could
see
easily make out
people's
that she is
faces.
not a human being.
She can
She's a
process
robot.
conversational
To
data,
answer all the
emotional
questions being asked
data,
by this
and use
anchor
all of
that
this
you
to
have.
form relationships with people.
Okay, so I mean, it's basically a line. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah,
Sure. Give it. It's saying, I'll just say, what's it's like? You see how awkward my first dates are. It's a robot. Oh, I'm getting nervous around a robot. A very pretty robot. What do I just say hello to?
The anchor is
Hi,
amused by some
Sophia.
of the answers that we
Hello, Jimmy.
my God.
Sorry for the audio. But you can
Do you know where you
definitely
are?
search on YouTube and watch
Of
this
course.
video completely. It's a very
I'm in New
interesting
York
show.
City, and I'm on my
The first
favorite
which
show,
was being
The
done
Tonight
by
Show.
an anchor with a robot. Very interesting conversation. You should
Uh,
go and watch it.
Sophia, can you tell me a joke?
Sure.
Anyway, so
What
the
cheese
idea
can never
was
be
to
yours?
show you that
Cheese can
yes,
never be mine. I don't know.
she
Nacho
is
cheese.
a humanoid.
Yeah, that's
She
good.
is
Yeah.
like a robot.
That's not, I like nacho cheese.
What do you think? The
Nacho
thing
cheese
we
is
all should be worried
the
about is something that I'm going to tell you now.
Ew.
I'm getting laughs.
yeah.
Maybe I should host the show.
Okay, all right. Now,
For starters, what should I call you?
I'm Chloe. And you, what's your name?
Oh, John. My name is John.
Delighted to meet you, John.
Could you tell us a little about yourself and what you can do, Chloe?
Of course. I'm the first personal assistant built by CyberLife. I take care of most everyday tasks like cooking, housework, or managing your appointments, for example.
And I understand you're the first android to have passed the Turing test. Could you tell us a little more about that?
I really didn't do much, I just spoke with a few humans to see if they could tell the difference between me and a real person. It was a really interesting experience.
But this is the first time in history that man has created a machine more intelligent than himself. I gather your brain can perform several billion operations per second. Is that right?
How many of you believe that she is not a human being? How many of you believe? Arjun, what's your opinion? Is she a robot or she is a human being?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm asking you whether you believe this, that she is a robot or she is a human being.
Yeah.
It's
By first look, people can't believe. First look, they can't believe.
First thing they can't believe, but there is a very interesting debate going on the internet because she's a
Acha.
copy. She's
So
copied of a
Dr.
very
Nitin
famous
sir
model.
saying it's unbelievable. Dr. Nitin is saying unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm yet to go through the chats, but I'll definitely go through the chats. Now, what is the controversy here? I'll tell you. This model which we saw, she was giving an interview, and if you go to the YouTube and check out, she is by the name of Chole, 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 and she is a robot. This is what Japanese are portraying, that she is a robot, copy of an American model or a Russian model. However, there is a debate that she is actually the model. She is not the robot. And then how come some LED has been fitted into her forehead? If you have noticed, the LED is blinking. And Japanese people are claiming that she is a robot. We have created this robot as we are habitual of creating such robots. But some of the other European countries believe that no, she is an actual model. Yeah, Dr. Nitin Jori, I agree that she is a bit advanced. Now, whatever it is, I mean, if she is a robot, then she is very advanced. She's just like human being. And if you go to YouTube and watch this interview, you won't believe the way in which she is portraying herself. She's giving all the answers so rapidly, so clearly to that interviewer, as if she is a human being. And the other part is that because she's not a robot, she's a human being. How you could make out she's a human being? In the years to come, it would be very difficult for us to distinguish between humans and robots. And my next slide would give you that proof that it would be very difficult to distinguish between a human and robot you never know, are you speaking to a human being or you are speaking to a robot. Let's go to the slide and then end it, and then probably we can have some question and answers, or rather a discussion. I mean, not really a question answer. This is that slide which I want to show. These are all robots. By the way, if you see this picture and this picture, these gentlemen are actually scientists who have created their look-alike robots. And they have challenged the general audience that you please make out the difference between me and my creation. Especially these two pictures, the below two pictures. One is real, the other is robot. Here also in this picture, see the cursor. This gentleman is the scientist, is a robotic scientist. This is the robot. He has used his own face to create his creation. It's very difficult to make out who is real. And all the top rows, these are all robots. They talk like human beings. Their hairs are human beings. You know. So this reminds me of again James Cameron, who was ahead of his times. You know. And there is an interesting take on some robots in defense. You would also be amazed. They are very interesting videos. I don't want to show it and take time now because we are almost reaching an hour. But these are very interesting videos where robots are fighting like human beings. If you want, I'll share the link. So having said this, if there is a viewpoint or there is a question, we can discuss it in next 5-7 minutes that we have.
Yeah.
Before I hand over to
Some chat box, some questions are the participants can put the questions in the chat box. So you see the chat box, some questions are there.
Yeah, I'll go. Logic-based AI and generative AI serve different purposes and have different resource requirements. You are absolutely right, Arjun. I have already compared the resource hungriness of generative AI and my friends in HP, because I was with HP, some years back, and when this entire issue of artificial intelligence started, all companies who are into manufacturing of hardware and especially compute and storage are quite happy because generative AI is such a resource hungry, that resource requirements are definitely more for generative AI. Okay. Yeah, rest are opinions by Dr. Nitin Joshi, and I'm completely with you that it's unbelievable what is happening in the field of artificial intelligence and robotics. And it is both fascinating as well as scary. One thing, which is unbelievable is again about Chat GPT. When I heard about generative AI some 3-4 years back, I thought that it will come, but it will take time. And I thought that it's like that transponder scientific fiction shown in Star Trek where human beings are transported via electromagnetic waves. If you've seen Star Trek, the inmates of the spaceship, Captain Kirk, Spock, or McCoy, they sort of disappear from the ship and then they reappear on a planet somewhere down there. I thought that this would generative AI would just be a fiction like transponder, though serious researches are going on in transporting matter through electromagnetic waves with the logic that if videos could be transmitted via electromagnetic waves, then why not matter? But Chat GPT coming out with such a fantastic product in such a less time and with such a big impact is really unbelievable.
Participants, any questions? Any more questions? Put it in the chat box. Yeah. So in further also, if any questions, you put it there, we'll forward to
Yeah,
Himanshu.
there are certain questions because of the, again, technology has been restricted probably. I'm been told that participants cannot be vocal on the call. And anyways, we are top of the hour. We have spent an hour here. But I'll be happy to take questions and reply back.
Okay.
Thank you for the applauses that you are giving me. And I'll share my email ID and connect with Arjun. I'm also based out of Delhi,
Yeah.
working with Tech Mahindra Noida, and I'm reachable for any further discussions or opinions you have. Not much to say. I was saying to Arjun that an hour is a very less for me because there are so many things that we have a view upon from an IT industry perspective. But good, thanks Arjun. We had a very fruitful session on artificial intelligence. I hand it over to you, Arjun. Over to you.
Yeah. First of all, your time slot getting is very difficult for us. Yeah, Dr. Nitin is saying very informative. But you find the time for us and you have given actual insights what's happening in the industry about generative AI and the AI, what the comparison resources and all. So first of all, on behalf of IET Pune chapter, Birds Engineering Academy, and Civic Incubation Center, we are very much thankful for you for spending your time or with us. At the same time, I am very much thankful to participants also. They have kept some theories also. They have shown their interest to understand some more fields also. Once again, on behalf of my individual also, I am thankful to Himanshu. Over to Sai. Sai, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's been an honor to have you on board, and your expertise has truly enriched our understanding of AI, especially AI, and has given us this multi-dimensional perspective of AI. So, thank you so much, one again. We are really grateful for your valuable contributions and your time. Thank you, sir.
Most welcome. Most welcome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.